Coming on to talk about sports and more specifically MLB from CBS Sports. He covers the MLB, Danny Vietti.
Somebody's going to beat the Cleveland Browns this year. Is it going to be another opponent, or is it going to be the Cleveland Browns? That's their storyline, and the season will answer that story.
Well, my prediction preseason, because we always have to do that at ESPN, give us your predictions, make us look like idiots, was Astros and Nationals, with the Astros winning. Given the fact that both those teams still look like they're in the mix for that eventuality, I'm going to stick with that, Astros and Nationals, with Astros winning.
Play action is going to take himself around the left big hole 40, 35, 30, cuts it upfield, spin move 20, action Jackson 10, and dancing into the end zone. Touchdown Ravens. Has time launching it down the middle of the field, called at the 20, Sammy Watkins 10, walking into the end zone, and the Chiefs are going to be going to Miami.
What's going on, Sportscaster, YouTube, and beyond? Thanks for watching this video. I'm Yosef Masinter, and I hope you're having a great day as I welcome you into episode 14 of the Ravens vs. Browns Week 14 Deep Dive, where I go through every play, talking about what happened, why it happened, should it have happened, who messed up, who excelled, and a whole lot more. This was absolutely the best game of the regular season, and I think it was the best game of the playoffs as well. Playoff implications, stars making big-time plays making stars, and of course, a dramatic Hollywood ending. But before we get to the film, please check out my podcast, Sports with Yosef. It's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. That's Sports with Yosef. Check out all of my videos on Sportscaster, sportscastr.com, as well as the rest of the videos in this series, also available on Sportscaster, YouTube, or my website. Check out all of my articles. I write for Flurry Sports, Tackler, Sportscaster News, and Rocky and Meisty. And it's a lot of different sites to remember. I have trouble remembering all of them. But I made it easy for you. Me, I'm still going to have to remember them. But you guys, you can just go to my website and check out all of my articles right there. YosefM613.com. And also, my podcast is also available on the website. This video series is available on the website. Other games are as well. So make sure you check that out. Take advantage of that opportunity. And while doing so, make sure you subscribe to get email updates for every time I post new content. You can get those email updates. It's right on the homepage, right there. Really easy for you. You have no excuse to not take advantage. That's YosefM613.com. If you're on Twitter, I'd really appreciate it if you could give me a follow. Well, you guessed it. My handle is YosefM613. Ravens, in their first drive in the second half, they get a touchdown. Browns, in their first drive in the second half, and they will be kicking off here to the Ravens. 9:06 to go. Third quarter, Ravens up 28-20 after the Browns and Cody Parkey missed the extra point while Parkey on to kick this one off. Devin Duvernay, he is deep for the Baltimore Ravens. As Parkey, foot into the ball, sends this one deep, and it'll bounce 3 or 4 yards deep, and that is a touchback, and Lamar Jackson will be coming out to the 25-yard line. We can take a look at this one more time. All 22 of you, you see Devin Duvernay back, standing about the 1 yard deep in the end zone. Cody Parkey, number 2, he will be kicking this one deep to Baltimore. As he approaches the ball, skies it, and Duvernay says, "No, thank you. Let's head out to the 25. So here come the Ravens. After watching the Browns march down the field, now let's start this one off in the pistol formation. Now pistol wing. Brings another guy in motion. Handoff, Edwards right side. That will be a pickup of 3. Larry Ogunjobi there to make this stop. Refs blowing it dead, forward progress, getting him out to the 20-yard line. One more time. It's Mark Andrews in the backfield next to Lamar Jackson. Oh, I should not have let that go that far. That is Gus Edwards, not J.K. Dobbinson. It's Edwards, so we'll see. Well, he's in on. We'll see if Dobbins will be in on the next play. Saw he's in on the play after that. Okay, Ravens going with 11 personnel. 1 running back right here, 1 tight end, 3 wide receivers. Browns in nickel defense. You can see it's match man. What does that mean? Man. And someone over here, probably Joseph, has got man on Andrews. Probably someone over here has got a man on Edwards. And then you'll likely have this safety saying, okay, I'm going to be this nice guy taking the deep middle. Taking away the post route. What's the post route? Well, if Sneed's the best guy to run it here until he comes into motion. I need a different color. We run towards the field goal post, hence the name post. Okay. As with all Ravens running plays, much easier to view from this angle. All running plays in general. Okay, right off the bat, where's Lamar Jackson looking? He is looking right at Myles Garrett. This means it's the zone read. Now, what does Garrett do? This is something we saw on the last Ravens drive. Garrett is going to take away the edge. He is going to get up the field and let Lamar Jackson just hand it off to Edwards. And that's exactly what Lamar is going to do. Edwards stays out, and then Edwards is going to trust the rest of his defense to come up and make some plays. Now, when the Ravens ran the invert of that, well, that's where the Ravens gashed them with Lamar Jackson up the middle. If you remember last drive, that 44-yard run. Okay, so now that we've seen what type of running play it is, let's take a look at some of the blocking schemes here, because a couple guys pulling. The 2 guys on the left side, Bradley Bozeman and Orlando Brown, they are coming across the formation from offense's left to the offense's right, as Willie Snead comes from the offense's right to the offense's left. Mark Andrews, you see him going this way. He's going to take on Myles Garrett right here and does a decent job sealing that. It's not an easy assignment for a tight end. All right, let's skip just a little bit more ahead. All right here. Okay, so you've got the center, Patrick McCarty. He's working against Larry Ogunjobi, and he's doing very well right now, right off the bat. Ogunjobi was initially looking at Lamar Jackson. Now he sees it. He's going to come back over here. He's going to get by DJ Fluker, and that's not going to end all that well. Okay, so next man up is going to be rookie Ben Powers. Working LB against, looks like Sheldon Richardson. Did he get a false start? Hold on. It's easier to tell in slow-mo. No, he didn't. Never mind. Okay, so DJ Fluker, he's helping out with Richardson. So they're double teaming, now they'll push Richardson. Richardson's out of this play. Now what he's got to do is Fluker's got to get into the second level and make a block. Watch DJ Fluker. He's just standing here. He's just going to let BJ Goodson gets by him. Larry Ogunjobi gets by him. Malcolm Smith gets by him. I mean, he's just standing there. He doesn't make a block, and that's not going to work all that well. Now, because DJ Fluker helped out on Sheldon Richardson, that means Olivier Vernon is coming free. Off the edge, well, how's that going to work out? Ravens do have 2 pullers, and that's what's going to happen. Bradley Bozeman is going to go and deal with Olivier Vernon. Orlando Brown's going to go and deal with MJ Stewart. And here goes Gus Edwards. He's got to deal with BJ Goodson. And I'm telling you, that's where DJ Fluker's job is meant to be. DJ Fluker's meant to be blocking right here, and he doesn't. Because Goodson is going to come free, and he's going to get a hit on him. Edwards breaks free of it, actually, but Larry Ogunjobi, another guy who Fluker missed, well, he will come in and make the stop. And now just look how many Browns players there are around Gus Edwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 players around Gus Edwards. Unreal. And DJ Fluker's got to make the block. It's still getting a 3, but it could have been a lot more. Okay, so let's watch MJ Stewart right here. Next person I want to watch. MJ Stewart, where did he start off? He starts off the screen. Speed it up. Here's MJ Stewart. So, actually, it's probably zone coverage, not man. Unlike I earlier said, because no one actually follows Snead across. So, yeah, right, so because, hold up. Here's what I think is happening here. I think the Browns are saying one of two things. Number one, we're going to play, this is man coverage. But If Willie Snead comes across the formation, if they bring a guy in motion, we shift to zone. That's what this is. This has been confusing me for a while. Because here's why. The Browns can't afford to bring MJ Stewart across the formation because then the Ravens are going to have a huge advantage to this side. They're matching up to run fit. They want to make sure that they're set to run the ball, and then they worry about their pass defense second. So that's what this is. This is right now. This is man coverage, and it's going to turn into zone coverage once Snead comes across the formation. And I think we've seen this a couple times beforehand. Interesting. Okay, leaving that aside, and that brainwave. Watch MJ Stewart right here. Look at this angle he's going to take on Orlando Brown. He takes a angle very, very wide. Look how wide he's going here. He's going like here. He's trying to force Gus Edwards to have to cut back because he knows he's got teammates pursuing. If Gus Edwards can get outside here, now it becomes a leg race and he'll be able to get another 7-8 yards. So great angle there by MJ Stewart. Okay. Let's watch this 3-yard run one more time. Oh, we can take it off of slow-mo now. Always tough to tell if I should do slow-mo or just drag and pull myself. Sometimes it works better one way, sometimes it works better the other. As Gus Edwards driven all the way backwards to 25, but the rules of forward progress do let him get all the way out to the 28. And we can take a look one final time. Handoff to the right side. Gus Edwards, great job fighting. Ogunjobi gets a credit for the tackle, but the Browns, the way they swarmed on that, very good job by the Cleveland Browns. And that'll bring up a 2nd down and 7. Patrick Ricard, he's going to be the player in the backfield. No tight end this time. Willie Snead across formation. No one follows him. This one is design zone all the way. Lamar Jackson takes advantage. A 15-yard completion out to about the 43-yard line. Sheldrick Redwine on the stop. Miles Boykin on the reception. You can see Miles Boykin right over here. He's just running a slant, and right in front of Redwine catches the ball. And I need to pause this. Catches the ball, and then easy play. Easy catch and run. All right, so 20 personnel. 2 running backs, no tight ends. This is the base defense for Cleveland. Right off the bat, you can tell it's zone coverage. You got a guy playing here. 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 Where are the soft spots? Well, first off, you probably got another player. That's a bad circle. You probably got another guy here. You probably got another guy there. That's generally how this coverage will work. So, where do you want to try to take advantage of? You're going to want to try to take advantage right over here between these two safeties. To the outside there. Outside here. You can kind of go underneath right here between these linebackers. Which soft spot do the Ravens take advantage? Well, they're actually going to go right between these two circles. They're going to try to put this ball in right over here, right in this vicinity. And it's going to work. Lamar, he knows it's zone. And let's take a look at the route concept. So Snead comes across. This ball's out of Lamar's hands very quickly. He sees immediately where he wants to go. You see Hollywood's wide open. Snead's wide open. Neither of them are looking. This is very... Now, the fun part about Lamar Jackson is that the linebackers, they come up. They come up they come up because of the play action. And this is going to create a much bigger hole for Lamar. He's got this entire area right here. He's got another area there. I can get rid of that last circle. And he's got another area there. Huge amount of space. So Hollywood Brown's going to just say, okay, I'm going to just run as fast as I can. You can't catch me. I'm the Hollywood man. He's just going to get down the field. Snead not sure what he's doing. Not enough time. And just the simple slant, 15-yard completion, pitch and catch between Lamar Jackson and Miles Boykin. It's actually a pretty good throw. Lamar Jackson puts it a little bit behind him. So Redwine doesn't have a shot at knocking that ball out, because if Jackson leads Boykins right here, Redwine's got a shot at forcing an incompletion, so he throws it to where only Boykin can get it. Lamar gets rid of this ball ridiculously quickly. Great job by Lamar Jackson making a decision, seeing the coverage, and then just executing it. If you watch one more time from this angle, see, Lamar puts the ball right there so that Boykin doesn't need to take an initial hit. Let's take a look at the offensive line protection. J.K. Dobbins isn't on this play. Ricard to his right, our right. Lamar's left. Fluker Powers. Let's take a look. Let's start with G.J. Fluker. He's working against Olivier Vernon. One-on-one, not a matchup you ever like. But Fluker does a great job here. Now, Vernon gets around the edge at the end, but it doesn't matter just because Lamar gets rid of the ball so quickly. Now, Ben Powers versus Sheldon Richardson. Ooh, inside move. He's going to come back and take on Patrick McCarry. Still nothing there. Puts his hand, leaps, tries to knock that ball down, does Sheldon Richardson. And nothing doing. Now, but right over here, Bradley Bozeman is working against Larry Ogunjobi. Good push to the side by Ogunjobi. But Bozeman's going to recover. Not much there. And, of course, double team. You got to double team the big man, Myles Garrett. He's working against Orlando Brown. Not a lot there, so Ricard's going to just shove him away. Lamar untouched. Boykin, 15-yard completion. And that will bring the ball out to the Ravens' 43-yard line. Watch this one last time. The key part to me here is that Lamar sees the coverage, recognizes where he immediately needs to go. He immediately goes to Boykin, and he doesn't wait. He doesn't overthink it. He just makes the correct read immediately. Great job there by Lamar Jackson, and here the Ravens go, first down and 10. About the halfway point in the third quarter. As Jackson is just going to hand this one off. Dobbins trying to slip through a hole. And doesn't get much. He'll get a yard there. Sheldon Richardson in on the stop. Oh, you saw that. Look at that hole initially. We'll talk more about this, but this is a big initial hole. I mean, this is massive. Look how everyone's blocked. Look how big this is for Gus Edwards to get into the second level. And he only gets one. Why? Well, let's take a look. And it's going to start off with what's the running play here. Where's Lamar Jackson looking? He is looking this way. So there is no zone read here. You're not Ravens normally don't have Lamar Jackson just not even fake his own read, but they don't on this one. So that is out of the question. This is just a designed handoff, but still with the intricacies of the Ravens rushing attack. Look how many guys they got on the line. By the way, this is heavy personnel. 2 running back, 1 tight end, 1 wide receiver, and a 6th offensive lineman right here in Matt Skira, who was benched earlier in the season. Because he was the center, and he was really bad at snapping the football. Kind of an important job. All right, let's take a look initially. Orlando Brown versus Myles Garrett. Garrett's going to push in initially. He's just going to try to out-physical his way, and then he's just going... And how does he get free? Well, a stunt. We've talked about stunts before. We'll go through it again. Larry Ogunjobi, he's working against Patrick McCarry. McCarry's going to just push into the outside, and that's going to let Myles Garrett come free. Myles Garrett, a big part in stopping and closing that gap. Because if you watch here, Dobbins sees him, and he's going to cut back. Okay, next step. Sheldon Richardson versus Ben Powers. You saw Bozeman pulling up. We'll take a look at Bozeman next. Ben Powers is going to get into the second level immediately. He's going to go take on number 50, Jacob Phillips, and he's going to just take him out of the play. Take away that guy who's responsible for filling that hole. That's Jacob Phillips' job, and Powers gets rid of him. It's a good play design there by Greg Roman, and making sure that he's gone. Let's take a look at Bradley Bozeman. Bozeman's going to come across the formation along with Patrick Ricard. They're faking the run to the outside. What Bozeman and Ricard are doing pretty much is they're trying to take number 51, number 42, number 28, all those guys are trying to just take him away from the scene of the crime. And it works because they follow the pullers and it opens up this canyon in the middle of the Browns defense. All right, let's take a look at DJ Fluker. He's working against Sheldon Richardson. Right over here, number 98 versus number 70. And Fluker had him initially. Fluker had him. Look, Fluker's on the outside, and Sheldon Richardson just rips himself free. And Sheldon Richardson's the one who finally closes that hole. Myles Garrett forces J.K. Dobbins to cut into Richardson, but Richardson does a great job getting out. One last guy to look at, Olivier Vernon, working against Matt Skura, holding his own. Tomlinson blocking him there. That's a mistake. No, never mind. I thought that they were initially going to block Vernon right into the hole. They did not. Okay. I mean, just how many yards do you think Dobbins gets right here, though? Assuming leaving out if Myles Garrett and Sheldon Richardson stay blocked, how many yards do they get? Ball's at the line of scrimmage is right over there. I mean, Sione Takitaki is the closest one. I think he gets at least out to right here. Maybe more. I think he gets 4 or 5 yards. And instead, it is a 1-yard gain, which will bring up a 2nd down and 9 after we watched this play one last time. Jackson in the pistol, uncharacteristically not running the zone read. And the play design was great. Execution was great until it wasn't. DJ Fluker, Ravens replacing him at right tackle with Alejandro Villanueva this year, and with good reason. Some huge issues at right tackle this season for the Ravens, especially with that Ronnie Stanley there because of the injury. Now Orlando Brown traded out. Whole bunch of issues on the offensive line. It credits the offensive line how well they played despite those injuries. As Jackson pistol, weird kind of play action. Is just going to take off and run. Something does not look right about this play, and let's take a look at it from the backfield perspective. I mean, look, so first question, play action or no play action? It looks like Dobbins gets in his way. Now Olivier Vernon breaks free. Ogunjobi breaks free, and Lamar's just going to say, I'm going to just do my own thing. I want to ignore everyone else, ignore the play call. And Deo does get credit for the tackle, but not after Lamar Jackson gets 2 yards. Lamar Jackson, he's about to throw this ball, and Dobbins is in his way. That's number 1. And let's just take a look at the route combo, and then we'll take a look at the offensive line. Because who does he want to throw the ball to immediately? Well, it's actually looked like Patrick Ricard. No. Here's who we wanted to throw the ball to. Look at Hollywood Brown. On this, he's running just a quick hitch. Okay, that was not helpful putting a 1 in there. He's just running a very quick hitch, and it works. And you can have Ricard running like this. Probably got something like this, and probably another comeback here. Although, who knows? This could be anything. I mean, Boykin could be doing anything, so I'm just going to get rid of the Boykin thing, so we really have no idea. So, the next step in this is that, let me get the yellow part. Lamar's looking immediately here. He wants to throw the ball, but Dobbins is kind of in his way. This is not a clean... It looks like I don't know if Dobbins thought he was getting a play action or what. Something's not right over here. That's where Lamar wants to go immediately, and then this is his 2, 3. But, and he's open. You can see that right here, Lamar could have put that ball in, and, oh, scratch that. You know what? I speak too soon, don't I? Here's what Hollywood's doing. Hollywood's running like this, and he's wide open. Wide. Right here, look at Hollywood. You can't see him. He's behind the defense. Right here, he got behind Kevin Johnson. Lamar was Okay, so Lamar immediately was faking the hitch. He faked me out, faked the hitch, and immediately going. He's gonna have to fake the hitch, and then he's gonna go over the top. This is a big play right here. They had him. They had him. But the offensive line can't come through. And Lamar Jackson forced to roll out. No, I mean, he's not throwing this. He's not Patrick Mahomes. He's not throwing lefty. He's got he could have put the ball right here to Snead. Why does it get so much bigger? Right here to Boykin. He had room to put it, but you're just not making that throw, rolling to your weak side. That's just not happening. So Lamar Jackson's just going to do his thing and pick up 2. Okay, so what happened? They're not blitzing here, right? First off, Patrick Ricard running her out. That's awesome. Project Pat. Okay, Olivier Vernon is just going to run over DJ Fluker. Watch DJ Fluker here. He's going to bull rush him, and he just runs him over. And Vernon's going to eventually get tripped up at the back end. But he's the one who breaks this play up. He forces Lamar Jackson out of the pocket. But it wasn't just Vernon. Watch Sheldon Richardson here. He's working against Ben Powers. Ooh, nothing there. Okay, Sheldon Richardson is blocked up. Now, next man, which is Larry Ogunjobi. He's going to work against Patrick Macari. Ogunjobi. He was controlled until Lamar Jackson escaped. So good job blocking by Macari. Bradley Bozeman working against Myles Garrett. Controlled until he escaped. Very good job blocking Garrett. So where's this other penetration coming in against the blitz? And this one is going very fast. We're going to go to slow-mo. Watch MJ Stewart coming in here. Delayed corner blitz. He's going to go against Orlando Brown. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm just going to cut away from you. And look at this hole he gets in Lamar Jackson. That is Olivier Vernon and MJ Stewart are the guys who... Olivier Vernon makes Lamar move. MJ Stewart makes Lamar vacate the pocket. At which point, Andrew Sendejo on this side is going to just come in. Jacob Phillips and Larry Ogunjobi, good chase as well. All right, I can take this off of slow-mo. So one last thing to notice is look at Jackson and Ogunjobi right here. This is just so you sometimes will hear the announcers talking about the edge. Here's the edge. When Lamar Jackson's able to turn upfield, I wonder if I could diagram this well. I don't know. Let's see how this works. If you've got a guy right here and a defender, the magical point of the edge is when he can, first off, he's normally outside of most players, and he can turn upfield when he's able to turn upfield and the defender's not going to be able to catch him turning upfield. And I'm sure there's a mathematical way to put it, but Lamar Jackson's going to get the edge here on Larry Ogunjobi, and instead of losing a couple, he's going to gain a couple. And we can watch this one last time. So there's just your mathematical point for those of you who've got, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with that analogy, but 2-yard run. Patrick Macari helping Lamar Jackson back up to his feet. Let's take a look one last time as the Ravens are going to be going into a 3rd down and 7. After a pickup of 2. And here the Ravens go. Ball at their own 46-yard line. You're up 8 to the Browns. You want to keep the pedal to the metal. Justice Hill, their 3rd down back, number 43, checks in. He'll come into motion from wide left into the backfield. All kinds of stunts on the line of scrimmage as a quick pass underneath is going to be caught. Mark Andrews, 3rd and 7. They get 7, and that will be a 1st down. Anderson Dejo with the catch. Watch. All right. So you heard me say stunts immediately. Well, we'll just quickly preview it. Sheldon Richardson and Adrian Claiborne, great stunt. Actually, it was just like, this was a massive stunt, easily seen from up here, which is where I initially saw it. Okay, so what are the Ravens running here? Okay, I might not get all the players correct, but here's the general concept. Something on the lines of this. We can just get one more guy there. Okay. So, looks kind of confusing. But if you remember, we talked about the mesh concept, and that's what this is right here. Mesh concept underneath. It looks like with Boykin and Andrews. These two guys are just going to run across each other. Now, this is for man coverage. Is it man coverage or is it zone coverage? Well, does Justice Hill is followed? No. What does that mean? It's zone. Well, that means two things. Number one, in mesh coverage, instead of finishing your route, you're going to sit down in coverage. You're going to sit down in a soft spot in zone. Remember, because you've got a guy playing zone over here. You got a guy playing zone over here. So you're going to just sit down right between them. And that's exactly what Mark Andrews is going to do here. And we'll take a closer look in a moment. And just take a quick look when Lamar ball's out of his hands. Boykin's also open. Hollywood's open. Technically, if he looked, he'd be open, although it'd be a tough throw. Justice Hill wide open. Remember, the first down is at the Cleveland, 47, 40, 48, 47, 48, whatever it is, something on those lines. 47. So you just watch watch Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews does this very, very well. A guy who used to do it very well for the Ravens, Dennis Pitta. He's just going to sit down in zone coverage. Lamar's going to throw it away from Andrew Sendejo. And almost passing interference here. Well, it's tough to tell from this angle. Looks like he's touching him before the ball comes, but it's not about touching. It's about redirecting. This actually might be clean. B.J. Goodson on the other side of this zone. Actually, it's Malcolm Smith on the other side, and Andrew Sendejo just comes up. Just look where Lamar places this ball. Places it perfectly where only Andrews gets the ball. A great throw by Lamar Jackson. Now, why are the Browns using zone? Why wouldn't they just man up on third down? Well, obviously, look where everyone's... We talked a little bit about this also. Everyone is looking at Lamar Jackson. Their eyes are looking at Lamar. Those guys happen to be on the same angle. Everyone is looking at... able to see Lamar Jackson. He's technically looking, but he's not. He's kind of looking over there at the guy right next to him, which is fine. Because if Lamar Jackson decides to take off and run, well, it's a lot easier to play coverage if he moves here and then, everyone's going to move here because everyone can see him. So that's why you want to play zone against Lamar Jackson. But the issue is, well, then he can throw the ball. And he can still run against zone. We've seen that one also. Let's switch now, I guess, to the line of scrimmage. Olivier Vernon working against DJ Fluker. Fluker being pushed backwards into the backfield yet again. Olivier Vernon was a nightmare and has been a nightmare in this game for the Ravens. Was a nightmare, I guess, would be the correct grammatical term. Sheldon Richardson and Adrian Claiborne. Look at this stunt here. They're just going to pass him off. And watch Sheldon Richardson here. Bradley Bozeman's going to contain him all the way, not giving up anything on this stunt. Adrian Claiborne, on the other hand, what's he going to do? Ravens got a lot of extra blockers here. Makari and Ben Powers. Oh, they pick him up rather nicely. Now, against Myles Garrett, Orlando Brown. He's just going to... Oh, look at that spin move. Look at that spin move to get free by Myles Garrett. He just wrecks him. Look at that spin move. And let's watch this one more time. Pretty much no yards after the catch there for Mark Andrews, but he had one job, get the first down. He does his job. And moving the chains, picking up the first down. As we watch it one final time, Mark Andrews just sitting down in the zone coverage right in front of Lamar Jackson. Lamar sees it, throws it, and converts it. So this is a fourth down and 1. No, this is a first down and 10, I believe, actually. So if you remember earlier in the game, I had talked about how the officiating in this the scoreboard up here was one of the worst I have ever seen in all the film study I've ever done. This is another one of these situations. That was a first down. You can see the first down marker right over there at the 37-yard line. So this is first down and 10, not 4th and 1. But we got a penalty here. Let's take a look at what happened. Well, it's on center Patrick McCarry. Let's take a look. Yep, there's that twitch. Right. He twitched. If we would go into slow-mo. He is just going to twitch. This was, again, 6 offensive linemen right there. 2 running backs, a tight end, a wide receiver. This looks like the zone read. It looks like he's looking right on this right edge against Myles Garrett. Well, was he? We're not sure, but McCarry gets flagged. Correct call there by the officiating crew. And that'll put the Ravens in a first down and 15. Ball now on their own 48-yard line. As Jackson will hand it off to Dobbins. Dobbins working his way to the left. He'll cross the 50 and get a pickup of 4. Carl Joseph, Myles Garrett there to make the stop. Mark Andrews motioned out to the right as handoff. Hold on a moment here. Lamar Jackson, what are you doing? How does the zone read work? Olivier Vernon. Olivier Vernon is in no man's land here. And this is where it gets tough for Lamar Jackson because Vernon kind of is just trying to stay neutral. He doesn't go in and he doesn't crash. What do? Lamar Jackson says, okay. Now, I actually think Lamar could beat him to the edge here. I think Lamar probably should have kept this. But it's tough to tell. It's tough to tell, especially from this angle. There's 4 or 5 yards. Olivier Vernon's got a good shot at Lamar Jackson if Lamar goes. Lamar would have to work his magic, and you don't like to depend on that. So instead, the give will be to Dobbins. So let's take a look from this view for a second. You see it's 11 personnel, 1 running back, 1 tight end, nickel defense. See, this is definitely... Look, I mean, the issue would have been Olivier Vernon, but look right here. Looks like Hollywood Brown, Willie Snead, and Mark Andrews. They have just created an edge for Lamar Jackson to run behind. The issue would be Olivier Vernon. But Lamar, Lamar might have gone all the way on this because they have just effectively shielded off a huge portion of the field. Huge. And now what's Miles Boykin going to be trying to do? Well, he's going to be trying to block Kevin Johnson as well to provide support for J.K. Dobbins. Now, it doesn't need to actually get that far because he doesn't get that far. But let's take a look at the line at the offensive lineman, DJ Fluker. Okay, so they're going to let Olivier Vernon come free. Why? Because he's the guy they're reading. So what does that mean next? Sheldon Richardson. He's going to work against DJ Fluker. Fluker does a decent job. Well, does a good job, actually. Ben Powers now. He's going to quick push, get into second level. He's going to try to take on Malcolm Smith. Does not do his job there. Didn't really do much of anything on this play. Patrick McCarry snaps it, goes over, works against Vincent Taylor. Bradley Bozeman helping him out. Now Bozeman's going to try to get into the second level. He's looking at Carl Joseph saying, that's my guy. I know I need to block him. But Vincent Taylor is holding on to me and I need to help out with Vincent Taylor first. You can see Bozeman looking at Joseph the entire way saying, yeah, I need to be blocking him, don't I? And now look at Orlando Brown against Myles Garrett. Look how wide Garrett is in that 7 technique instead of that normal 5 he would be using there. And Brown initially wins, but Garrett, he's just going to read it very well, help take him down. So there are 2 pieces here. For this play to have worked really well, either Lamar's got to keep it, or number 1, if Bozeman goes and takes care of Colonel Joseph, which likely happens, and Garrett doesn't get free, here's what's going to happen. Gus Edwards is going to be running like this. He's going to cut to the out. He's either going to cut like this up the field or cut to the outside and then get up the field. This would have been a very big play for the Ravens. Again, you're assuming everything goes perfectly, which it rarely, and I mean rarely, does. But hey, I guess it's worth a shot. I mean, it's definitely worth a shot. It's a 4-yard gain, so it's not like it's bad. But you know what? It happens. So Ravens got 4, and let's watch it one last time, which will put the Ravens in a 2nd down and 11. Penalties are a killer, and instead, I mean, you could have had a 2nd and 6, much better than a 2nd and 11. I'm still torn about this Olivier Vernon thing, and it's very tough to tell from this camera angle. Will Lamar have had the edge on Olivier Vernon? I think he would have, but it's tough to tell. Wasn't the right decision by Lamar. Olivier Vernon was in no man's land. You follow the book on this one. You follow the book on the zone read, and I don't know. Tough to tell. Sneak coming in motion here. No one follows. That means it's zone coverage. Jackson play action. 4-man rush for the Browns. Going over the middle. Deep ball. Willie Snead incomplete. Ball lands at the 5.5-yard line. Let's take a look from this angle. This should be a fun angle to watch it from. As Willie Snead, he's just going to get down the field. Lamar's going to way overthrow him. Oh, maybe not way. Now this is pretty much a symmetrical play. What they're going to do is this. And either a deep ball or a comeback here, not sure. Just because Lamar's gotten rid of the ball. Right, so that's pretty much what they're doing here. And if you take a look when Lamar's wants to throw this ball right here, Snead's open. Boykin is really open. Hollywood's open. Andrews not as much. Ravens in the 11 personnel. I think I said that. So there are a lot of different types of zone, right? But it comes down to cover 1, cover 2, cover 3, cover 4. Or quarters is really what you would call cover 4. And it's very simple. Who covers what? Do you have cover 1? Do you have... You know what? Let's do this on a whiteboard. Cover 1. Cover 2. Cover 3. Cover 4. These are all, by the way, on the deep portion of the field, but whatever. This isn't a perfect drawing, but this gives you the general idea. Now, on this play, this is cover 3. And you can see the different weak spots for all of these of where you want to attack. I mean, obviously, right, let's go to different color. You can always go just between areas. You can go outside of areas. A little harder to go outside when you're playing quarters. You got a lot of room here to work against cover 1, and obviously there's cover 0, which is, you're almost always blitzing against that. So those circles make total sense when I go off the blackboard. But the Browns are in cover 3 here. So you've got 1, 2, 3. Where's a place you attack in cover 3? Well, you attack right over here. And that's the wrong color, and I'm sorry. And that's what Lamar's going to do here. He recognizes the coverage. He knows where he wants to go with the ball. Here's probably the issue. He throws the ball. He's waiting for Snead to get open. He's waiting for Snead to look. Maybe he throws this a tad earlier, maybe not. Now the tough part is Anderson Dejo's chasing him. He's got a safety coming in over the top. And this is just not a great throw. He overthrows him. A better throw. If Lamar puts it on his numbers, he's got to put it like right over, I mean, literally hitting his numbers. Or better angle would be like that. Well then, Snead's going to go make a juke move and try to keep on running. Instead, Lamar's going to overthrow him. Not a great pass by Lamar Jackson. Okay, So let's take a look over here. Lamar's going to fake the zone read. He's going to fake to look at Olivier Vernon. Gus Edwards in the backfield. And Lamar, he's looking to see the coverage. He sees his cover 3. That's where so he goes immediately to Willie Snead. And Snead's open, but doesn't pan out. Would have been a 30-yard gain plus. I mean, depending on the yak. If Lamar makes a bit of a better throw. Okay, let's take a look at the offensive line here. Olivier Vernon versus DJ Fluker. This is not a matchup that's gone Fluker's way today. And this time it will... You know what? In the end, Vernon kind of gets free, but Fluker does a good job controlling him here. Ben Powers working against Sheldon Richardson. Let's take a look. Pushing him backwards, but Powers drops that ankle. Drops the anchor, I should say, where you drive your foot into the ground. When someone's bull rushing you, you just drive your foot into the ground. Use the ground as an anchor. It's called dropping the anchor, and that's what Ben Powers does right there to stop that bull rush. Good job there. Sheldon Richardson, he's going to try... Excuse me, that's Vincent Taylor. He's going to be double-teamed here. Pushing him wide. And pretty good coverage here. Now Bradley Bozeman's going to split off at the end to help out Orlando Brown with Myles Garrett. It's a very good protection by the offensive line. Pretty much spotless. The issue was the pass. Deep ball is tough to place it perfectly in stride. I mean, that's a 40-yard throw by Lamar Jackson. Would have been a 30-yard game, but he's throwing it from the 45-yard line. So, very, very tough throw to do perfectly. But there's an expectation if you're at the NFL level that you make this throw, and Lamar Jackson does not. And that will put the Ravens into a 3rd down and 11. Justice Hill, he'll check in. He's in the backfield. 3 receivers right, 1 on the left. It's Boykin. Looks like man coverage. And it is man coverage. Is Lamar Jackson going deep again? Mark Andrews deep. Ball. Oh my goodness. A touchdown. And yet again, overthrown. Watch Mark Andrews right here. He's just going to run the simple over. He's just going to run by his defender. We'll talk about this route because it is a beautiful route. But in the end, it does not matter. Okay, so there are a couple of interesting pieces here. I don't, again, there's no motion to confirm man or zone. Here's why I think it, initially I thought it was man, and now it looks like it's zone. Because right over here, this is man coverage all the way. Watch Kevin Johnson take Miles Boykin. This is how you play man coverage. Because normally if you play zone, you're going to have your hips to the outside. You're going to let the receiver go in. I have a feeling this is man. Look how far he takes him down the field. Normally you pass him off. So, right, that makes it look like it is absolutely man coverage. Now look at the far end of the field. Hollywood Brown. Look at his hips. He's playing into the outside. That's still man coverage, by the way. He's taking with him all the way. But the 2 guys in the middle, Andrews and Snead, these are the dilemma right here. Snead and Andrews. Snead's not really being followed. Snead, it's like they're playing zone against Snead and Andrews. That's actually exactly what it looks like. That's exactly what they're doing. So this is, fascinating. Man coverage, man coverage. Zone, 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 zone. No, this might be man. Whatever, bad circle, but whatever. That's really interesting. They want guys to be able to watch Lamar Jackson in case Lamar takes off and runs. And so they're going to leave Lamar. Looks like a combo of man and zone. I'm sure they dialed this up just for Lamar Jackson. See, there's a part, but the fact that he's ball's in the air, so I guess you're going to follow regardless. It's very interesting coverage here by the Browns. Okay, so watch Mark Andrews right here. We're going to slow this one down. Look at this. He wants to go to the outside, but he's being covered completely. And then he's Andrew Sendejo in coverage. He's just gonna run right by him. He's going to fake cutting to the outside, and instead just gonna get down the field. And that's gonna sell Sendejo, and he's just gonna now run by him. Now Lamar Jackson just gotta put this ball in there. This is a touchdown all day, and instead it will bring on a punting unit. Now Miles Boykin, by the way, is wide open also. Watch Boykin right here. I say wide open. Welcome to the NFL, where one step is open, two steps is wide open. So I would say probably one step. But again, Lamar, either one of those, Lamar's just got to make a better throw these last two plays. There's just no other way to say it. And after saying that, let's take a look at the offensive line. And probably want to be slow-mo for this. DJ Fluker, Olivier Vernon. He's taking a look at this stun here. Sheldon Richardson and Olivier Vernon. Olivier Vernon's going to work now against Patrick Macari. And Macari's going to do a pretty good job holding him. Sheldon Richardson and not getting anything against DJ Fluker or Ben Power. So very good job. You see, leading him over, telling him, hey, we're stunting. And they do stunt, and it's just a good job by the Ravens to pick this one up of you're going there, you're going there. Well, let's take a look here at Adrian Claiborne, where you can skip forward a second. Adrian Claiborne, he's going to work inside. Oh, we're stunting also, aren't we? And he's going to work around the edge. Orlando Brown's going to pick him up. Now, Lamar Jackson, hold on, right here. If Claiborne doesn't come over, you can see Lamar thinking about running. But then he sees a target get open. So Brown's going to end up pushing Claiborne around the edge, and Bradley Bozeman's going to hang on to Myles Garrett. So pretty good protection by the offensive line, dealing with both stunts. Good job there. And Lamar, he's going to end his third quarter with 2 overthrows. Still 4:40 left in the third quarter, but as we watch this one last time, I mean, these are plays you've got to be able to make. Lamar's got to be able to hit these throws. He does not. And Sam Cook will be coming on to punt this ball away to the Cleveland Browns. As we got to watch that overthrow one last time. All right. Browns here, they're expecting a fake. Look at this coverage here. Look at these two linebackers. This is called the safe punt defense, as this punt will go for a touchback. No, never mind. That was caught by Donovan Peoples-Jones. Excuse me. So they've got a couple of guys right over here, in case they decide to fake this. Ravens do love faking the punt. Sam Cook, I think it's like 6-6, 7-7. Oh, yeah. Sam Cook 7-7 throwing the football, 82 yards, 5 first downs on fake punts, and 115.5 quarterback rating. So I mean, he can throw timing routes. He's actually very, very good at faking the punt. So they're worried about it, especially in this range of the field. You're definitely thinking about where you're more likely to do it. So you're playing the safe punt return. Good punt, 35. I mean, not great. So it puts this ball is going to be caught at the 13-yard line. So pretty decent punt by Sam Cook. 35 yards. An 8-play, 32-yard drive, 4:34 off the clock. Ravens come up empty. Not what you would like to see. See, no one's rushing no one's coming in to rush at all. They are worried about the fake on this one. Understandably so. There's Morgan Cox, the long snapper, all the way down the field at the end. And the Browns now got the ball. And they're going to try to take advantage of this Ravens lapse. As here come the Browns out to their own 13-yard line. 4:32 to go in the third quarter. Mayfield shotgun back to his left. Mayfield surveying the front. Who's coming? Who's not? Who's coming? Who's not? Mayfield's not sure. He's going to throw intercepted. Tyus Bowser falls to the ground, gets up, and he is going to run this all the way down to the 1-yard line. 17-yard return. Rashard Higgins will prevent a touchdown. What in the world is Baker Mayfield thinking? We're going to look at this play a lot, because this is just, what are you thinking, Baker? What are you thinking? Why do I say that? Well, first up, what's the route combo? You got a comeback. Ball's out of his hands here. It's very tough. Ball's immediately out of his hands. So what he wants is this comeback right there. That's what he wants. Now, is that what he gets? Yeah, he runs it pretty well. Now, here's the issue. We can get that graphic off the screen. Watch Tyus Bowser. So you're not sure who's coming, right? And I prefaced this play with it. Look how many guys in the box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the box. Who's coming, who's not? Well, let's take a look at the offensive line immediately, because no one's going to get free immediately. Pernell McPhee, Justin Madubuike, they're going to stunt. Marlon Humphrey's going to come on a blitz, but you can't even see him right here. So Ravens bringing some pressure. Conklin does a good job picking up Humphrey. Nothing else really notable here. I mean, Pernell McPhee does get through at the end, but that's not why Mayfield throws this ball. Look at Tyus Bowser. Mayfield is staring Tyus Bowser down. He's looking at Tyus Bowser the entire way. He sees him. He definitely sees him. So why on earth, right here is where he throws it, is right over here he throws the ball. Does Mayfield think he's got the arm strength to be able to put the ball right over here and not let Bowser get it? Because that's what the only possible rational explanation likely is. Now, before the play, Mayfield did point at Tyus Bowser, indicating that he thought he was blitzing. But he only looked left, so it looked like he's going to his hot route. So is Higgins a hot route? You running a hitch as a hot route? And I understand he was under pressure from McPhee, Madubuike, Humphrey. But, there was pressure, but you got to just take a sack. This is not a smart move by Baker Mayfield. Bowser does a great job. If you'll see he goes to the ground and then just gets back up to his feet. Rashard Higgins right over here. He's going to try to take him down, and Bowser's just going to drag him all the way to the 1-yard line. Jedrick Wills, you'll see him also help prevent this from being a touchdown. So good chase by the left tackle. Now, there are big plays. Momentum-changing plays. And this is one of them. This will be the only turnover of this game. There were a bunch of fumbles which were not recovered by the opposing team. This is the only turnover of this game. The Ravens just came up short. The Ravens just had a touchdown and dropped and blew it. And we watch this one last time. Look, he's pointing right at Tyus Bowser. He's saying he's coming. He thinks he's coming. And then he's going up, but he's staring him down. He's staring him down. But a momentum-changing play. The first interception in Mayfield's last 6 games, 187 passing attempts without an interception. He throws one at one of the worst possible moments to give the Ravens a first down and goal from the 1-yard line. I mean, it does not get much worse than that. The only turnover of this game could not have come at a worse time in this game. Browns are down 8, trying to get back in it. Well, Ravens saying, okay, well, we're going to say no. Here, the Ravens come at the 1-yard line. Heavy formation, 2 running backs, 2 tight ends, and 6 offensive linemen. Handoff, Dobbins, and just hurdles his way in. Ravens up big. Watch it from this angle before we break it down. Now, when Ravens got the ball at the 1-yard line on 4 plays, you're going to expect them to score every time. This is just, look at Lamar's helmet. He's looking the wrong way, so it's a designed handoff. Okay, so what's happening on the offensive line? Starting on this side, I guess that we'll start with Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews, he's going to go out. So look, look at what Mark Andrews does. By faking a pass, he takes both Andrew Sandejo and Mac Wilson out, and Jacob Phillips out of the play. No, that was Mac Wilson. I was right the first time. Which means I've been messing up a different name. Malcolm. No, you know what? Maybe I'm not. I don't remember. So he fakes it. Now he's going to come back and block Wilson, but it's too late. Next up, Orlando Brown. They're going to let Myles Garrett come free, and Patrick Ricard will take him. Orlando Brown's just going to shove Sheldon. He's going to shove Porter Gustin to the inside, creating this hole. Ben Powers is going to... Well, we're not up to Powers yet, actually. Now, Bradley Bozeman's going to go to work on number 90. Take him to the ground. That's Jordan Elliott. Patrick McCarry, he's going to work against really Vincent Taylor. Now, you're going to see DJ Fluker, Sheldon Richardson. There are a whole bunch of guys that are going to get penetration on the side because they're just overmatched. Now watch Ben Powers. He's going to come and pull. He'll come over. He's going to pull, and he's going to get in front. He's going to take on... These guys are going to take on B.J. Goodson, Carl Joseph, and that's just going to let J.K. Dobbins walk it in. A one-play, 1-yard drive, probably about 3 seconds off the clock. Maybe 4. 1, 2, maybe, no, I would say 3. A huge time for the Ravens to come up with this kind of play. Immediately capitalizing on the interception, set up by Tyus Bowser, and the Ravens are up 34-20. Extra point coming up right now. Morgan Cox, a snapper. Sam Cook, the holder. Justin Tucker. He will be on, and this kick is blocked. Vincent Taylor will block it. This ball still going around, and it will finally be picked up by Tavier Thomas, number 20, and he will be downed right there. Got a lot to look at on this extra point. Well, I'll watch it just from this angle first before taking a look. Tucker doesn't often miss, but maybe every year or two he does get a kick blocked. That's what will happen here, because look at number 96, Vincent Taylor. He's going to just immediately get by Morgan Cox and just times his jump perfectly and just knocks that ball down. And this ball is then going to bounce, and you just try to follow the ball because it's actually kind of tough. It's going to be kind of kicked around. It's really tough to follow the ball till it's picked up. Still not picked up yet. Tavier Thomas having trouble picking it up. There he picks it up, number 20, and Sam Cook will make the tackle. Now, I don't know, maybe Ben Powers should help more. It's tough to tell. Now watch Justin Tucker here. We're talking about likely the greatest kicker in NFL history. And he is getting in the middle of the scrum. He is trying to get this ball no matter what. You've just got to love it from Justin Tucker. Now, leaving that aside, Tavier Thomas. He's going to be the guy who makes this recovery. Watch Tavier Thomas right here. He's just going to, you kind of see his helmet. I'm trying to keep my mouse on him. Right over here. You can see him clearly right now. Waiting for the ball to get to him. It does. He has trouble picking it up though. And Sam Cook does a good job getting that. If Sam Cook doesn't get that, I'll be honest, Tavier Thomas might go all the way. How ironic would that be? The Browns getting a kick 6 against the Ravens. Anyone who's a Ravens fan remembers the Will Hill kick 6 they had a couple of years ago. Watch this one last time. So the Ravens are only up 14, not 15, but with about 4.5 minutes to go in the third quarter, Browns will get the ball back down 14. Not the way they wanted that drive to go. The interception, the 1 yard. They got the stop, albeit not because of their own good, more like because Lamar Jackson just messed up 2 throws in a row. And that is the NFL, and that is why it is so entertaining to watch. All right, thanks for watching this episode. If you've not done so, check out the previous episodes of this series. You know where to find them wherever you're watching this one. And the next episode, if you're watching the live stream, it'll be out tomorrow. It should likely be out tomorrow. If you are watching a recording, it's probably already out. So make sure you check that out. Check out all the rest of my videos on Sportscaster, sportscastr.com. My username is YosefM613. Check out all of my podcasts. It's Sports with Yosef. You can find it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. And that is Sports with Yosef. Check out all the episodes there. Check out all my articles for Tackler, Flurry Sports, Rocky and Meisty, Sportscaster News, a whole bunch of great content. Make sure you take advantage. And to make it easier for you to just be able to go to one site and check out my content, well, I created a website, yosefm613.com, where you can check out all of my articles, all of my podcasts, this video series, and a whole lot more. So make sure you take advantage, as well as subscribing to get email updates every time I post new content. If you're on Twitter, please give me a follow. My handle is YosefM613. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time for episode 15.